there's columns today, there's reaction today where Tom Izzo, the Michigan State head coach, Hall of Fame coach, won a couple of national titles, usually goes to the Final Four, it feels like, and he had a run-in with one of his players. And if you don't know Tom Izzo, this is what happened. A lot of people are just, do drive-bys when it comes to the tournament. You have, casual fans. And if you see Tom Izzo is this kind of coach. He's old school. He's in your face. And if you're watching him while he's berating one of his players, you're saying, wow, that seems a little extreme. Now, his players were holding him back. That was a little different. He didn't touch the player, which thankfully he didn't. Is it above and beyond the call of duty? In my opinion, yes. He didn't make contact, but I thought, if he would look at that, step back out of the moment and look at himself, and then you'd go, yeah, I probably went a little bit above and beyond the call of duty. But this is who he is, and this is who the players signed up to be coached by. They know who he is. Now, it's different than Bob Knight, because I do think Izzo has a nurturing quality to him. And I do think that he gets, caught up in the emotion. He wants the best out of you. He wants the best out of himself. I don't excuse what happened last night, because my approach has always been, and trust me, in college I got yelled at. And I know what that feeling is like. And it's certainly where nothing was at stake like it was last night. I always want to know, why can't a coach get his message across by talking to you instead of yelling at you? Because if I talk to you, I feel like you're going to listen more than if I yell at you, because then you'll tune me out. Here is Coach Izzo talking about the moment last night.
I get a kick out of you guys. Get after somebody because you're trying to hold them accountable. I don't know what kind of business you're in, but I'll tell you what, if I was the head of a newspaper and you didn't do your job, you'd be held accountable. That's the way it is.
He also had something else to say as well on this.
When you're a freshman now at this time of year, you don't make mental mistakes on things that when we're telling a guy which way he goes or not running back or, there were some things Aaron didn't do a very good job of. And then I did get after him, and he did respond, and he did make a couple big buckets, and he did make some big free throws. But that's not good enough. This is one and done time, The my bads are out the window. If they're my bads because that team played better or that guy played better, if it's my bad because I decided to jog back instead of sprint back, then it is your bad, and you're going to hear about it.
Okay. I mean, he makes no excuses. This is who he is. And I think, to a man, his players, when they're gone from Michigan State, they talk about how much they love Tom Izzo. They know how they're going to be coached. You're not surprised. If people saw a Duke practice, I think you would be shocked, because Coach K holds you accountable the same way, but there's no cameras in there. I mean, he gets in your face. But how many players have you ever heard say something negative about the way Coach K coached them? Very few, I'm guessing, if any. And the same with Tom Izzo. They're kind of cut from the same cloth. It's old school, it's in your face, but do I care? The players have to know that coach cares about me. I had a coach in college who didn't care about me. I knew that, and that's different. But I always when coaches go, hey, keep your composure, and then they don't keep their composure, that bothers me. Hey, you know what? Come on, let's go, relax. And then you're not relaxing in that moment. That Bob Knight would tell you, hey, I need you to be disciplined here. But he wasn't disciplined. He would be out of control. I had a problem with that. And that's something about your makeup. There's something more to you, that makes you up, that makes you this kind of person. But Tom Izzo, if you said, would you have your son play for a coach? Tom Izzo would be a coach that I would want my son to play for. But he's not for everybody. And they don't get the big recruits. But these kids can go elsewhere to play, and they choose to go there. And he makes sure they graduate. So while I don't like what I saw last night, I do like who Tom Izzo is and what he means to that school and what he means to these kids. And maybe that's, playing both sides of this, but I think you have to have context here. That was not pretty last night. That was a little bit scary to me. But I do know the overall picture the overall career of Tom Izzo weighs heavily to the side of doing right.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.